Once we do this for a little while, it becomes more and more natural, and you can build up more and more speed, and eventually you can get to where you can just rip through that. I'm going to go through and teach the major scale in the key of C here, and I'm going to try to show you what I believe is the most effective pattern with your right hand to accomplish this. Now, when we're learning scales, or for that matter, almost any kind of single string pattern like that, there's always a place in the scale that I call the sticking point. And that is, there's one little section of the scale that seems to be a little harder to play than all the others. So as we go through these, I want you to pay close attention to where that sticking point is, because you might have to spend a little extra time working on that. But I'm going to go back and teach this note by note, finger by finger, and hopefully this will provide an excellent foundation for all your scale playing in the future. And before I start, I want to say that this is going to only involve two fingers. This is going to involve our thumb and our middle finger. So we're going to start down here on the 8th fret, on the 8th string with the thumb. The next note is going to happen on the 7th string with the middle finger. Now, I said that sticking point thing happens in just about every scale. Well, it happens almost immediately in this one, because the next thing that we're going to do is take our thumb again and play the 6th string. So we went thumb, middle, thumb. So our thumb crosses over our middle finger right there, and in the beginning, that can be a very awkward thing. So trust me when I tell you that over time, this is the most efficient way to play this. It might seem like playing thumb, index, middle would be the most efficient thing. 3 notes, 3 picks, right? Well, as it turns out, that's not so much the case. Less fingers eventually equates to more speed. So here we go again. Thumb on the 8th string, middle finger on the 7th, thumb on the 6th string. And at this point, we're going to add the B pedal in with that. Now, we're going to play the 5th string with the middle finger. And at this point, something kind of interesting is going to happen with our feet, because we're already on the B pedal. But now we're going to switch from the B pedal to the A pedal. So our foot's going to do this. It's going to rock from one side to the other. If you play the day setup, doesn't make any difference. It's still going to go from one direction to the other. So here we go. Thumb, middle, thumb, add the B pedal, middle again on the 5th string, come off of the B pedal and onto the A pedal. Now right here is another little sticking point in this scale. So far, we've always alternated between the thumb and the middle finger. But because the next note in the scale is way up here on the 2nd string, and we just bought ourselves a little bit of time by letting the pedal play that one note for us, we're going to actually use the middle finger again, twice in a row. So here we go. Thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, pedal, middle, off of one pedal onto the other, same finger again to reach up and catch the 2nd string, and then the 4th string with the thumb. And that completes the C major scale in the ascending direction. Now I said everything that we learn go in one direction, we want to learn it go in the opposite direction as well. So to play this scale backwards, we start with the A pedal already engaged. We play the thumb on the 4th string, the middle finger on the 2nd string, the thumb on the 5th string. We're going to rock off of the A pedal and on to the B. Now when we were going up, we used our finger twice in a row going up because the pedal bought us enough time to do that. When we're going down, we use the thumb twice in a row, and I'll show you that. So here we go. Thumb, middle, thumb, switch pedals, thumb again on the 6th string, release the pedal. Here comes that crossover again. Middle finger on the 7th string, thumb on the 8th. And that is the descending pattern for the C major scale. Notice the fingering changes just a little bit. When we're going up through the scale, we use 2 middle fingers in a row. When we're going down through the scale, we use 2 thumbs in a row. Now I'm going to play the whole thing forwards and backwards one time all the way through. Thumb, middle, thumb, pedal, middle, pedal, middle, thumb. Other way. Thumb, middle, thumb. Switch pedals. Thumb again. Release, middle, thumb. Forwards and backwards up the C major scale. Now, since we're pedal steel players, we got all these extra strings, right? So we might as well use the extra strings to extend the scale a little bit farther and also build in some more finger exercise all at the same time. And this is what that would sound like. We're actually going to play the entire scale and then 3 more notes to be up to the next major third. So I'll show you what that sounds like. Here's where we left off. From here, we're going to reach up with the middle finger and catch the 1st string, and then the thumb on the 3rd string. That way we get to use some more strings. And that is an octave and a major thirds worth of the C major scale. From here, we can turn around and go right back the other direction. Thumb on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 1st string, thumb on the 4th, and from here it's just like it was before. So practice working on that fingering, and as soon as you can get through that, using the correct fingers on the correct strings, get out your metronome or whatever your timing reference is and put it on to a speed that is very, very slow. Do this as slow as you have to do it to make sure that you do it with absolute accuracy. Now, the wonderful thing about the metronome is it allows us to track our progress. Because if you can do this one day at, let's say, 60 beats a minute, which is painfully slow, if you can do it the next day at 61 beats a minute, you're proving to yourself that you're making progress. So, one more time. Here's that scale. And back down. I'll palm block every one of those notes to make them nice and staccato. Now, we could take this and turn it into one big long continuous pattern by adding one little wrinkle at the top of this, and I'll show you what that sounds like. And this ends up being a fantastic finger exercise. So here we go, going up. The last time we played this 3rd string and stopped. This time, when we play it, we're going to go ahead, the A pedal's already down, we're going to go ahead and rock over onto the B pedal, and then right back off again. So that's going to sound like this. So here's that. And that allows us to turn around and go right back. And now we can turn this into one big looping pattern like this. Now that is a whole lot of notes to play in a row in a fairly intricate finger pattern to do it with. And that is precisely why we want to practice this, because it gives us a long string of notes to play and it forces our fingers to do some things that at least at first seem fairly unnatural. Now, if we do that one scale over that one fret all the time, we will get very bored very quickly. And one of the beauties of the pedal steel, at least the E9th tuning, is that we can take that exact same finger pattern and relocate it to a different spot and still play all those same notes and still accomplish pretty much the exact same thing. So if we were to stay in the key of C and go down here to the 3rd fret And we're gonna do everything for this one. We're gonna go ahead and lower the second string a half step. But now we're gonna start down here on the 3rd fret, and we're gonna play the exact same thing. Now at this point, if I add that A pedal in, that's our root note for C. And those are all the same notes that just happened up here on the 8th fret. We just started in a different spot in the scale. We started on the 5th degree of the scale instead of the root. But nothing about the fingering changed. So we can play that fingering up here, and it's C major scale. We can go down here to the 3rd fret and lower the 2nd string and play the exact same thing, and it's still C major scale. So we can take that one and turn it into that little looping pattern. Do it down there, then do it up here. Then jump up to the 15th fret and do it an octave higher. All of that is all C major scale. It does a lot of things to get our fingers working. It does a lot of things to open up our mind's eye to where to find all those notes. When you can do it in C, swap around, do it all over the guitar.
See the equipment our pros use at the best prices anywhere online. Support small business and save.